Well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
And sometimes spilling edition of the Basilio Show is on the way next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
Pretty fired up, folks. Pretty prepared today. I'm not going to lie to you. And really, it's not necessary. No need to lie, you know? I'm pretty pumped today. You should be pumped. I'm pumped. We're pumped. We're excited. Because what I got to do today, between now and the expiration of today's program, it's pretty simple. The charge is to get in and get out, because tonight we're going to be on, how do you put this? Kind of late. And why are we going to be on kind of late? Why are we going to be on kind of late? We're going to be on kind of late because the SEC has this new game and this new gimmick they have now. And as Tennessee fans, we've been sort of caught in it this year because we're always in the night window, it seems. Bri, is this the most night window games we've ever played? And it's getting old? Or am I imagining that, Bri?
I think they play a fair share of these late tips every year.
Well, why are we noticing now that these games are starting like tonight? Florida and Georgia play in the first. Okay, that's fine. I get it. Florida, Georgia is a more attractive game than Tennessee, Mississippi State to stick there in your early prime access on the Eastern time zone. Plus, there are two Eastern teams. I've got no problem with that. The problem is that they've got 9 o'clock Eastern time next to Tennessee start time. By the way, buenos dias to you. I'm fired up, folks, and prepared. The great Sean Sinclair is here, and he will speak momentarily. But I'm pretty pumped today, and you should be too. I just can't, for the life of me, I just can't figure out why a league that's as buttoned up as this one does what they do to their fans. Do you realize that every night there are several thousand fans for these games that go to these games that have to sit there for 15 or 20 minutes till their tip-off is supposed to start? In what world do you have a ticket that says 9 p.m. tip-off, and which generally means 9:05 or whatever, and the game won't start till 9:20? And they're doing it all the time. Now, of course, I'm whining, Sean Sinclair, because I'm going to be on, and Brian will be with us, and he knows this. So tonight's game starts at 9:15, Brian. What time's it end?
Well, if it doesn't start till 9:15, usually it's probably not going to end until close to 11:30.
That's right.
If we're lucky.
So it ends at 11:30. I do at least an hour. That's 1 a.m. No offense, but I said today on my blog, and I mean this, if that game goes to overtime and you flip this thing on and I'm not here, don't be surprised. Because the rule is if the game ends the next morning, I won't be here for you on a post-game show. Cinco, you think that's a fair thing for a guy that answers the bell after every game? Do you think that's a fair rule that I have for myself? Self-preservation. If a basketball game ends the next morning and you flip on the app, I won't be there. Fair? What do you think, Sink?
Well, it's more than fair. I mean, gosh, you put up such a good service. I know you. You'll be there buttoned up and ready to go, full-throated. But the chase for money leaves people like what you do and the fans just – I mean, I'm not – I haven't seen 9 o'clock in weeks. I mean, I'm so tired. I'm out.
You're a working man. What time? Cinco,
sorry.
like in the morning, right? When you do your deal, what time you get up?
5.
Yeah. Like my son yesterday played golf with Lauren that nice day. And I was going to bring them both home dinner. And she said, Tony, he had to go. Because I was sitting in the park in the dark playing music. It was so nice. I sat out there with my little speaker. And it was pitch black dark. And I didn't get done picking till about 7. And so nice. Oh, my God. God bless us. It was so nice to feel a warm late winter night that just felt like that after what we've been through. And prayers up for our friends in the mid-state and beyond who continue not to have power. It continues to be third worldy there. My point is, though, when I think about tonight's game, I think about the several thousand fans. I think about a league that has 5 networks at their disposal. Why don't you start tonight's game at 9 Eastern time for the working man? And there have been some 9 o'clock tip-offs in Thompson Bowling that they'll hold the tip time for. Well,
they might start at 9:05. They've been doing that some.
They start them
if the other game runs long.
They start them at 9:15, Bri. Where you been? When's the last time you saw a game start at 9:05?
Well, I've seen some that have started around no later than 10 after.
They start them at 9:15, and why do they start them at 9:15? Because tonight's Florida-Georgia game is going to go long. So why not tell everybody tonight's game starts over on ESPN News at 9 o'clock sharp? And that's your tip time, and that's how you manage it. People are savvy now. You know, look, we've got people trained that they will go over and they'll be able to click over. We watch football games on Thursday nights on Amazon Prime. I mean, people are savvy now. They can move around their – it's just so frustrating. Ethan Whataburger, Ethan E. coli Whataburger says, why don't you have Bino fill in on the overtime tonight? Yeah. Pretty good idea. Bri, the hockey tournament's here. Are you excited for it?
Is this men or women?
The men's. The men's are playing right now.
The men's start.
The men's are playing right now.
The women have played, I think, at least 3 games already, haven't they?
Yeah, but I'm excited for the men's. I want to see the men's, Bri. Men's and men's.
Yeah, when does the U.S. play? They play today?
Yeah, play right now. They were warming up. They're getting ready to play somebody. Let's see. There's a game there. I'm pretty fired up. I'm pretty fired up, focused, and prepared. I don't know anything. All right. So, Bri, what about tonight's game? What do you think?
Sleepy spot midweek on the road.
Yep.
Coming off a very disappointing game at Kentucky.
Yes.
You just hope that they don't let Kentucky beat them twice, which is, to be honest, kind of a concern of mine. They're favored decisively against a team that they're better than, that they have matchup issues. That team has matchup issues with the Vols. And They should take care of business. This should be the start of at least a 3-game winning streak.
And the Hump
before
is
they go to Nashville.
The Hump is such a sleepy place.
And that's what's concerning, because they got to generate your own energy. I don't know how excited Mississippi State fans will be.
Hey, Cinco, you have in your Memphis background, what happened to Memphis basketball? What happened to the Penny Hardaway era? 5 or 6 years ago?
I don't really know.
What happened?
They Fred Smith, and several years ago, Fred Smith tried to buy them a blue chips type team.
Yep.
He got the center out of Nashville.
Yep.
He brought in some other guys, and they were really trying to get Penny to go. Then there was the whole thing about that same center Penny had paid for his move. Penny got all, he got all up in his feels and said, "Hey, I'm going to play the kid even though he might be suspended." Well, it didn't work out for him. And since then, it's just kind of, he'd lost the ability to play at Tennessee. And then, I think Fred Smith died.
He did.
FedEx is still a backer, but still, I think that he lost his juice maker there. And it's just, he's such an important part of that university from a history point of view. That same thing with Larry Finch was. I think they'll just let that dwindle down until it just falls off, because they're not going to fire him.
It's so weird, Sean, that they don't, like, I was talking with a friend of mine today who said, yeah, Sean's from down there. He just said it to me very casually. And the reason I bring Memphis up is the great Gary Sturm reminds me, Sturm Without a Warning over at Mortgage Investors Group, under the caption of, "Damn, I love this guy, Tony. Damn, I love this guy, Tony." Jemai Meshack played 22 minutes last night for Memphis at Golden State. Bri, are you for that or against that guy's playing NBA minutes right now? How wonderful. How a guy that feeds the poor, a guy that loves people, a guy that is just a great kid, a guy that is just a self-made player when he was here. What a wonderful story for him, man. What a wonderful story. I love Jemai Meshack. Played 22 minutes in a game at Golden State for a Memphis team, 20-32, going nowhere in a hurry. Golden State won the game, 114-113, but who cares? Jemai Meshack had 17 points, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 assist in 22 minutes. 8 of 10 field goal attempts, getting those easy buckets around the rim, Bri, because that's who he is. He's an uber athlete. God, I love him. Love him. Love Jemai Meshack. I love him.
Go to work every day when he was at Tennessee. Now, as a pro, he's gotten his opportunity, and he's made the most of it.
I love him. One of my favorite players in years. Great ambassador for the school. One of my favorite players in years here. In fact, in honor of Jemai Meshack having his breakout, we're going to do, once we get through with Watson today, we're going to do our favorites. Because we're going to have a Wednesday with Watson on the things that we're going to talk about with Watson Brown. And by the way, does this warm weather, Cinco, have you thinking about baseball? 2 days away, Cinco. Will you be in the house for this new era of Tennessee baseball? Because I will be in the house on Friday. I will continue our Basilio tradition of attending the opening game with the lovely Miss Laura. How about you, Cinco?
And I will quote the great, and I mean great, Peter Frampton.
Yes.
Do you feel like I do?
Do you feel? Do you?
Did you ever have a talk box?
Voice box or not,
yes.
I will be there on Friday, taking it all in. Wouldn't miss it. And that's, yes. I'm
so fired up. I'm so fired up.
I'm so fired up about the softball team.
Yes.
Do you feel?
Brian, do you remember when Peter Frampton used to have the talk box hook?
Some people made it. Joe Walsh did it a bit. Richie Sambora, with Bon Jovi did it a little bit, but it's kind of a '70s jam.
Were you a Bon Jovi guy back in the day?
Of course. Hey, right? Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't get all the credit, but I think Richie Sambora was a great,
incredible
songwriter.
Incredible.
And I think his. I've always thought and heard that if you can sing a guitarist solo, it's a great solo.
Great way of putting it.
Think of Elliot Easton from the Cars.
Yes.
Think of a lot of these guys. I mean, I'm for the shred too, I was kind of that guy. But guys, where you can sing there, David Gilmour.
Yeah.
But another Richie Sambora, you could always sing his solos.
One of my favorite rock leads in the history of rock leads is Best Friend's Girl, that Elliot Easton thing he does there, where he does all that cross picking and just so precise.
You'd be surprised because I've watched this through the years. I'm old, and guys that are surprising that have influenced so many people. Ace Frehley, a Kiss, certainly. I'm not saying these guys are the best. I'm just saying they influenced them. And I'm absolutely surprised at how many hard rock metal guys were turned on by Elliot Easton.
What a great player.
Genius.
And Rick Ocasek wrote incredible songs. Incredible.
Another guy that doesn't get credit, and I think he's a great guitarist, Andy Summers from the Police.
Oh my gosh, dude! He brought jazz and all the because Sting wrote all the Ad 9 songs. All those songs had the nines in them, and he brought the some of the Robert Fripp chords into pop music. It's such a fun thing.
Jamie West Oram from The Fix.
Jamie West Oram. That's a name I haven't heard in years. All right, so I'm fired up, folks, prepared for, I want to celebrate because it's season of love. Some of these guys that we just love, I want you to think about this. Guys and gals, because we were talking about the Lady Vols yesterday. I want to leave the gals out. Guys and gals in hoops that we've loved down through the years, either they play for them or they play for us. But we're going to list them. And if you tickle our twine, we're going to send you some chocolate-covered strawberries, courtesy of our friends at Bradley's. You go by on Friday, Saturday, and pick them up. Rice fans. They got 2 locations. They got one in Farragut now, Bradley's Gift and Home, and then one right here on beautiful South Peters Road. So W. Lynn can go by. Is that right, Brian? Is that South Peters over there where they are, or is that still North Peters? Do you know, Brian?
I think it's North Peters. South Peters is cross.
Oh, south is across.
Pike. When he goes south of Kingston Pike,
there you go.
South Peters.
That's North Peters, yeah. I'm going to tell you something. This Finland game right here I'm watching, this thing is physical. There have been 2 fights already, and somebody's picking themselves up off the boards. All right, so we got a lot to talk about. Shout out to Calypso and Walking on the Moon from Rodney Bell. I got you, Rodney. Do you think, Cinco, right now, do you like that our baseball team is coming in anywhere from like 5th in America to 15th in America, with a lot of people having them like in the top 10, top 15, back toward the top 15 because Tony Vols is no longer here?
Yeah, I like it because I don't know where it is. The lower, the bottom 10, 15 is simply because of the change at the head.
Yep.
This is some of the most top end talent we've had. When you take a look at what they could be, Coons, Mack, Appenzeller, Blaine Brown, Henry Ford. It won't be tomorrow, but this year. But when you like Blaine Brown, he could go 1-1 in 2 years. He's that kind of prospect. He won't, but he could. But I think it's interesting because now, and I love Tony V, no question about it. But he took a lot of the oxygen, good and bad, from the program, and now
we're going to hold base runners. We're going to hold base runners this year.
We're a program now.
We're going to hold base runners. Tony Vols couldn't
that was interesting.
Tony Vitello couldn't game manage his way out of a wet paper bag. Come on now. This Elander guy
that's nonsense.
This Elander guy knows more about baseball, and Tony forgot.
Nonsense.
I'll tell you
they wouldn't have this kind of team if Tony Vitello doesn't come along.
I will say this.
Brian laying down the truth.
When a team gets 9 stolen bases on you, you might want to revisit what you think about holding runners.
We have a lot to talk about today. Very little time to get there. Today, top of the blog, I opined because Griff yesterday and John Adams were talking about, and I can promise you tonight, whoever's doing this game will say, Rick Barnes told us, because I'm going to ask Watson about this. Rick Barnes told us that he's very concerned about how physical teams in the league have been and how it hasn't been called on Nate Ament. Veteran coaches with gravitas. Josh Heupel is now a veteran coach in this league. Brian, what tenure is Josh Heupel in the league? He's got to be top 3 now, right? With Stoops getting fired. He's entering his 6th year, Brian. How many guys have been in current posts? The guy at A&M hasn't. The guy at Texas, they weren't in our league. Off top of my head, Kirby
Smart has been, but maybe one other.
Kirby Smart's one. Yeah, I think Heupel. Why doesn't he act like it? Why doesn't he behave like it? Why does he let himself get run over by this league? He's won 10 games twice, and he gets a have-not whistle even in his own building. They have zero respect for him. Rick Barnes on Monday at the tip-off club said, hey, they're taking liberties on my guy. We reported that the night of the Auburn game, he grabbed the lead official on the floor because our guy overheard him on the floor because he had front row seats. And Barnes looked at the guy and said, hey, somebody's going to get hurt out here in the second half, and when it happens, it's going to be on you. But the thing I love about Barnes is he'll say it publicly. You think he cares if they, quote unquote, fine him for comments that he made at the Tennessee tip-off club? No, he's playing 3D chess. He knows I can influence my next and my next and my next and my next basketball game by doing some work in the press. He knew damn right well John Adams was in that room, Mike Wilson was in that room, some other people were in that room, and he's going to whisper into the ear of the broadcasters tonight while they're doing that game that, hey, see if it comes up tonight on that telecast. That'll be very interesting. Will he mention tonight on the telecast, hey, you know what? They're taking liberties with Nate Ament, and I'm sick of it. Something needs to be done about it. This is a guy shaping the stretch drive of the season. And it is really, really smart. It's a really intelligent veteran thing to do. Josh Heupel gets 0 from the referees. 0. You know why? Because he doesn't ask for it. Sending cut-ups to the league is not good enough. Sending film cut-ups to the league is not enough. It's not working. It doesn't work. And you know what? I didn't do it. But I'll tell you this. Rick Barnes gets a Regal whistle. Brian, Rick Barnes got a Regal whistle on the road at Kentucky the other night. They got a great whistle in that game. A great whistle. The Zebras weren't the reason we lost that game, Bri.
He got Regal whistles his first year when he had no team.
Hello. You know why?
At Tennessee, that is.
Because he knows how to play the game. He could take Josh Heupel under wing and fix that hole in Josh Heupel's game so quickly. Because that is a absolute hole in Josh Heupel's game. Josh Heupel gets punked and he has clowned.
No personality. Heupel's personality just doesn't.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to have a person.
To that.
We're not out here to be Mr. Rogers. We're not out here to win. We're out here to fight for our team. Several years ago, that still frustrates me. When Adam Sparks gave him a wide open opening after a game they were jobbed in, and he turned a microphone and you said, "You do it." No, you're the coach. You're making $10 million. You do it. What are you turning the mic toward Adam Sparks for? What is that supposed to mean? And I'm gonna tell you something. This Rick Barnes guy suffers no fools. He knew exactly what he was doing Monday. Knew exactly what he was doing, because he knows after 45 years of coaching, and maybe one of these days our football coach is going to learn this. But if you don't fight for your right to party, you will not party with the officials. You better fight for your right to party. This guy gets zero whistle. He's won 10 games twice. He's one of the finer young coaches, top 20 coach in the country. It's what he is, top 20 coach. And they treat him like he's garbage. Sean, you ever seen a guy on our sideline get a worse whistle than this Heupel guy gets consistently, game in and game out, and just stand over there and take it? You ever see anything like it, Sean? Because I haven't.
Not given his, his winning, not given his record.
Amazing. Amazing. Amazing.
I still remember Kirby Smart last year talking the officials out of him calling a timeout.
Exactly.
He clearly called a timeout.
Kirby Smart is a lot like Barnes. That's a sharp, sharp guy, man. Those guys are playing 3D chess. If you don't work those refs, and you don't work them, they're going to work you. They're going to work you. It's pretty simple. So, 865-200. Well, never mind. The great Watson Brown's going to join us on the other side. I'm pretty fired up, folks, prepared to talk to him. Today, I'm going to talk to Watson about that. Another thing I want to talk to Watson about is, this is our syllabus, okay? In light of the Bediako rejection by the courts, on which SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey weighed in on the side of the NCAA, does Watson Brown expect Greg Sankey to follow suit and put something in writing for the NCAA and come out against Joey Aguilar getting it out of the year? Sean, do you expect that?
Yeah, I guess I do. You know what? I'm going to recuse myself from an opinion on that, but I think somehow, some way, we got to get some guardrails, and guardrails are going to hurt and help. So I'm not saying I am not offering an opinion on what I think Joey should get or not get, but at some point you got to start getting control of this thing.
Another question I want to ask.
But here's the thing. Yeah. I just saw a Montana linebacker, just got a 9th year of eligibility. I'm not here to talk about his chronology there, but that's bordering on absurd.
Another thing that we're going to talk about, you can bring that up to them, these older players, because the coaches are going to go get the older players. If Bediako's thing would have stood, which I thought I saw a report that it stood, I erroneously said that on Monday, but there's so much like misinformation out there, and these things you see on Twitter, people putting fake reports. I don't know what you get out of that, but somebody got me. Okay. It's so frustrating, Brian, isn't it? When you think you're seeing a real story and you're seeing like a fake story, and you don't really take the time.
I check follower accounts right away. That's what you should do. And it's obvious when you do that sometimes. Just look at the profile page. You'll see parody in their bio. You got to.
Taylor Vall said that Twidiots get out there and say fit coaches get better whistles. I doesn't look like Kirby Smart's going to go run a marathon anytime soon. Kirby Smart's no fit. He didn't fit. He didn't even look like he played football.
My boy Andy Reid got the best whistle the past 5 years.
Hello. I mean, is Andy Reid, is he like fit? What does that mean, fit? Kirby Smart, if you looked at him and you said, man, he played Division I football, you go for who? Kirby Smart? Look at that guy. Now, my boy Andy Toy Loy, who lives in the area, who played 12 years before Kirby Smart at Georgia, that man looked like he played football. That's a piece of man candy. Kirby Smart.
Wonder that Tennessee put up like an 8-game winning streak on
Kirby Smart, right? Kirby Smart.
There's little wonder Tennessee had such a long winning streak in that series.
In the dad bod calendar, he's like Mr. April and Mr. May. The dad bod calendar. Kirby Smart. Syllabus for Watson Brown. We're going to talk about the Bediako rejection. The NCAA finally wins one in court. How could you not win that one? If that would have stood, that would have been open up the floodgates, turn out the lights, the party's over for college sports. So that's the truth on Betty Croco. Next thing I'm going to ask Watson Brown, how hard is it to rally your team when you get your absolute face beat in like the Lady Vols have on consecutive Sundays? Because they got another win on Thursday night, and that's okay, against Missouri. But when they get in the squared circle with teams that can play, Bry, they are looking up at the LIGHTSs. And they are doing the JOB on the ABC. Do you feel me on that, Bry? Yes or no?
Yeah, and it's so ironic that Thursday night, the past and the present are going to meet up in the handshake line, Kim Caldwell and Kelly Jolly. And it doesn't appear like right now that Tennessee's ceiling has been raised from a Sweet 16 level program, which is what they brought Kim Caldwell in to do, fair or not.
Another question I'm going to ask Watson Brown is, how hard is it, or is it hard, to get in front of your team when you basically call them quitters in the media? Can you lose players when you do that? Or is that could that be a way for her to get their attention? I'll be curious to hear what he has for us. And then I didn't ask him because he's worn an AD hat as well as being a coach. If you're an AD and you see a coach say something like that in the media, do you go talk to them? Because I've talked to people at UT who think that there are some discussions that are going to be had with Kim Caldwell regarding what she's done here. And she's expected to have a media appearance here, and she's expected to walk it back somewhat. We'll see if she does. Apologize, maybe. Mention that she's been encouraged to do that. Now, I don't know whether she will or not, but we'll see. But I'm going to ask Watson, how would you manage it? And there we go. And then I have a broken sentence down here at the end of my Watson Brown syllabus where it says games are officiated, as Rick Barnes is obviously doing with the way Nate Ament is being roughed up. Okay. Maybe I'll ask him about that too. About what Rick Barnes and guys like that do. Can you get an edge in the media? Lots to talk about with the great Watson Brown It's a Wednesday with Watson, presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. And I think Timothy McGee, who super chatted us to say the following: our fans are the definitions of the legions of the miserable and act like a bunch of babies. Yeah, man. And twidiots, too. And twidiots and babies. That's what these people are. And then after we get done with Watson, we're going to celebrate and we're going to shout out our favorite Vols. Just, season of love. I want you to show some love. I got love for you. Watson Brown after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gufon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires. Just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Cold weather is here. Is your heating system ready and running efficiently? Don't wait to find out. A simple tune-up now can help prevent costly breakdowns when you need your heat the most. Right now, Pipe Wrench is offering a $79 heating system tune-up to keep your home warm, safe, and worry-free all winter long. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune every part of your heating system for maximum efficiency and comfort, helping you avoid surprise breakdowns and high energy bills. And with Pipe Wrench Home Service's same-day service guarantee, you won't be left out in the cold waiting for help. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Schedule your $79 heating system tune-up today at pipewrench.com before winter decides to test your heater. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. For standard systems only, visit piperins.com for details.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. Living Vol fan, when it's time to get ready for 2026 and what's ahead, there's only one place. It's Alumni Hall, the best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands, Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. And check this out. All the basketball stuff that the Tennessee basketball fan could ever need. Some great Tennessee baseball stuff as well. Any season, any reason. Alumni Hall, 3 locations in Knoxville. Also Murfreesboro, Bristol, and now open, of course, in Johnson City. And anytime online, alumnihall.com. Say it loud, say it proud. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience, Alumni Hall. Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the volunteer state by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka, and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Bradley's and your Tony Basilio Show are a Knoxville tradition. And these days, just like Tony B's show is taking off like a rocket ship, so have my friends at Bradley's. Sure, they still have all the delicious chocolate you're used to, like the chocolate-covered popcorn in the assortment boxes. They're now called Bradley's Gift and Home, and they have so much more than chocolate. Bradley's Gift and Home has all kinds of amazing curated gifts, jewelry, candles, and other for her gift items that will keep you from having to go anywhere else. Guys, trust me, as Basilio would say, Bradley's Gift and Home have taken it to the next level. And remember, Bradley's will have freshly dipped chocolate-covered strawberries in milk and white chocolate at both of their locations, 141 North Peters Road and 138 Biddle Farms Boulevard in Farragut next to Tupelo Honey. Strawberries available February 13th and 14th. See you at Bradley's Bradley's Gift and Home. See our website, shopbradleys.com.
It's unbelievable, Andy. I welcome you back. Tennessee tonight and Mississippi State in a game it'll never be forgotten by the living fan. Something's going to happen tonight. We'll never, ever forget it. I have a funny feeling. You just never know. It's a great thing about sports. Sleepy night down there at the Hump. Cinco, why does the Hump look like a dump on television? Hump the Dump.
Part of it is it's always been the bad lighting. Kind of
yes.
I always think the same thing about Georgia.
And Georgia has this new court they're playing on, Brian, where literally you have to adjust the tint.
It looks like it's in the dark.
Is tint still a thing on television? The contrast. I bet Watson's old enough to remember when you could play around with the tint on your TV and the contrast and the vertical hold and go in there, Watson, and you flip that panel down on your TV and you start pulling with those fine knobs and you mess that color all up and you start arguing over the color of the uniforms. Watson, how we doing?
Oh, you just brought back some memories.
Isn't that great?
Right there,
Isn't that great?
You just brought back some memories. I spent 2 years in the Hump now. Our offices were in the Hump at Mississippi State when I was the offensive coordinator for Coach Sherrill.
Oh, gosh.
And that place is just so different. It's built old-timey way.
Yeah.
It's circular.
Yeah.
But it is built a little different than a lot of the circular ones used to be. It's built straight up. It's very vertical. And so you're looking down kind of at the floor. And it is different, and it's very loud in there. It's kind of a dull, seats are a very dull maroon. And so you're right. The lighting's never been great. But it is a very loud place. You're probably nearly 4, 5, 6 feet above the floor. And if you're sitting on even low in the court. So it is different. I can remember Brenda and I, when we first went to Starkville, they were playing LSU and Shaq was playing. And we got down to the floor, didn't get to meet him, but down to the floor and got close to him. My, that is one massive human being. He is just so massive. But the Hump is a special place now.
Like when you go see the Wrestlers and you see those guys up close and you're like, I've always thought when you go see a wrestling show, they better be bigger. The wrestlers better be bigger than the people in the stands, or I've got problems when I'm watching a wrestling match because I want to go see big people. And Shaquille O'Neal certainly fit the bill as a great Watson Brown, breaking it down scientifically, moving right to left across your device, unlike any other, and through your vertical hold and in your tent. And he's unbelievable, Andy. And he's presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. Since 1888, right on the great Jim Simpson's farm. Let me tell you something. You want to talk about doing right by somebody in 2026, including yourself. You want to talk about a great gift idea. You want to talk about gift box available. You want to talk about they can ship premium meats anywhere in the world at simpsonsmeats.com. You want to talk about over off Level Road, their shop they have there that has steaks and burgers and sausages and roast and chicken. Variety of local offerings at their butcher shop. It's just an old school butcher. Oh, it's incredible the way it smells in there. And they got the milk and the honey and the jam and the eggs, and it's all local. And my gosh, the best of Tennessee. And you know what I'm talking about. The great Watson Brown's with us. All right, Watson. So the Alabama, they kind of fooled around with the NCAA, but they didn't fall in love, as the old song goes. They fell in disfavor. Brian Hartman asked a question during the break, which I hadn't even considered because I'm not a smart guy. I put my syllabus for our conversation up on our blog today. But so Alabama knew the NCAA did not want them to play this Bediako guy, okay? Should they automatically get losses now in the games that he played in now that a court has ruled? Greg Sankey has wrote a letter in favor of the NCAA and went against Alabama, which I would imagine you could count on one hand the times an SEC commissioner has gone against Alabama in this league in anything. No offense to Birmingham, but they know what they're doing having that league office down there for $1. That's the best dollar rent, Watson, that Birmingham's ever spent in their lives, giving them free rent all these years. But that's another story for another day. Do you think now the NCAA, since they control March Madness, that's their tournament, could they look at Alabama and say, you guys are not eligible now, you used an ineligible player, we can take you out of the tournament? Could they do that, Watson?
I don't know. I don't know if legally they can do that. They would do it. Excuse me. I've been around the NC2 my whole life, and man, when they want you, they'll go after you. And there's no doubt in my mind that and they're so gun shy now anyway, and they're so upset. I mean, they lose everything, and all of a sudden here one went their way. I can't imagine them not wanting to use that in some way. I don't think they would go past every game he played in was a loss. I don't think they'd go past that. I don't think they just declare them ineligible for the tournament now, but you throw that many losses on it, it might knock them out anyway. So I don't know, but I told y'all last week, I had a kid, and I can't even remember where it was now. It shows you how old I'm getting. But I had one at a school I was at that I was told by everybody, same kind of deal, exactly. And I was told by everybody, don't play him, even though they're letting him play right now. I would not do it. And we didn't, and ended up that we lost what we were trying to do anyway with that kid. And I can't even remember now where I was. But that's happened to me once, and we didn't play the kid. I was just told by everybody, my own personal lawyer, don't do it. Don't do it. It's 50-50 at best that you're going to win this thing.
Back then, the NCAA was the bogeyman, though. Now they are.
They had a lot more power than they do now.
That's right.
They've lost a lot of court cases since then. I think I was told they have yet to lose a court case back in that day.
Yes.
Now
they're the Washington Generals. Now they're the Washington
So it is a
Generals.
different world.
Yes.
It is a different.
So back to where we were. Joey Aguilar's case going to be heard Friday, unless they move it back. But Fridays. Do we think the SEC commissioner? You've been around this a long time. Does he write a letter for the NCAA in that case, or does he stay out of it?
I think he stays out of it. If I'm the commissioner, I don't get in on the personal stuff. I just wouldn't do it. That's just me. I come on here and give you one man's opinion, which don't mean a whole lot, but I just wouldn't go on the personal stuff. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Now, some would say an Alabama fan would ask you, well, what's the difference between the Bediako case and the?
I don't think there is. I just wouldn't do it. I'm not sure I would have gotten that. But when it does change a little to me when the kid played
professionally
and they won games with him.
Yes.
And now you're affecting the conference. You're affecting more of the conference. And now maybe that's the reason he's getting in that.
Well, you know what else is a line of demarcation in those two to me is Joey Aguilar is a college football player and he wants another year, and guys are getting other years and it happens. This Bediako guy is a professional basketball player.
Yeah, I didn't like this one at all.
I don't think you can have that precedent and still have college sports, can you?
No. If this had gone through, I told a friend of mine, I said, if this goes through, guys, you're looking at the minor leagues. Yep. We're now a minor league to the NFL and the NBA or whatever. It's not even college sports anymore. It's close to that now, guys.
It is.
But there is still that piece that if you go to the NFL and you're in a training camp or you've played in 2 games and all of a sudden you get cut because you're not good enough and then you can go back to college ball, you can't do that, guys. That's going way too far. And so I was glad to see this go down the way it did.
I'm fired up, folks. Prepared right now for the great Watson Brown. He's got me pumped. We're talking about the commissioner. Cinco, does the commissioner chime in on Joey Aguilar, or does he sit that one out? What do you think, Sean?
I think I kind of agree with Coach. I think given the fact that it's different than a pro player, he may just let the courts do that. Not what's the point of him upsetting a certain fan base or not? The court's going to decide what they're going to decide. But the pro thing was pretty low-hanging fruit, I think, for a commissioner.
Yeah, that made sense. I thought it was weird that he never said anything publicly about it. He just kind of sits tight. Hey, Watson, Montana linebacker Solomon Taliapapupu gets to return next season. Watson, this will be his 9th year of college football.
I don't know the background of that, but that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
This guy's going to get up.
There's no more ridiculous than how you pronounce his name, Tony.
Why? What's his name, Bri? It's Taliapapupu.
Poop.
Bri, that's his name.
Did Tony mess that up?
No, it's Taliapapupu.
Did he get it right?
It's Tulialapupu, Bri. That's his name.
It's probably
T-U-P-U. Tulialapupu.
Oh, God.
As Watson Brown.
You've been in the South too long, Tony.
As Watson Watson, Pop, and me, presented by our friends at Simpsons Beans. We are having too much fun. Too much fun, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And hey, Watson, question for you. The Lady Vols have this young coach. Let me ask you a question about using the media. Rick Barnes. He goes to the tip-off club yesterday. He knows media people are there. Media people cover that Tennessee round ball tip-off club. Those guys have done a great job with that down through the years of growing that club. And the great Mark Griffin was bragging on them today to me. And, Barnes gets up there and says, hey, I'll tell you something. These officials in this league, they're letting way too much contact go on our freshmen. Teams are beating on them and taking liberties with them. And they're just sitting around and letting it happen, and I'm tired of it. He will say something to those announcers that are doing that game tonight, Roy Philpott and somebody else. Obviously that stuff works, right? When you talk about it in the press, when you get it out there.
You're asking me? Absolutely, it works. That's why you've seen coaches through all the years. Before a game or something, they'll pop something out, this and that, that's meant to get in the official's head a little bit. There's no doubt about that. It works.
So that was not.
And I don't think an official does it on purpose. It just
no.
It's just kind of a natural thing. And I do think, and this is again me, but I do think that the physicality of college basketball has gone too far. I'm for backing off of it a little bit myself, and less hands and less elbows and pushing and shoving and all they're letting them do. I think it's gone too far.
Watson, how about this kid? The lights are so on for him. And these opponents, the only thing they have, the only recourse they have with him, because he's bigger than most guys defending him one-on-one, is to grab him. It's the only recourse they have.
And they are. They're beating him to death. I see the same thing. And I don't just think it's him. I see it. I think it's harder for these freshmen because it's gotten so much more physical. The difference in football with a freshman and a senior is totally through maturity is physicality. That's huge, and now it's really starting to even show more in basketball because they've let the game get more and more physical.
So Rick Barnes is an interesting study because he's just not afraid of using the media to get at the officials. It obviously works because other people do it. Nick Saban used to do it. He got every call known to mankind. And by the way, Rick Barnes gets a great whistle. I don't know if I've ever seen a coach at Tennessee get a whistle like the one he gets, and maybe that's because he's so adept at working those guys before the fact. I was thinking today, because we were talking about Kim Caldwell and what she said about her kids quit the other day and, this, that, and the other. But, basketball coaches as a whole versus, because I'm thinking about some of the things Barnes said about kids in the past. He'll take on players. I'm thinking about Bob Huggins when he was at Cincinnati and West Virginia. He would just openly rip guys. I'm thinking about guys like Bill Self in the press or Calipari in the press taking off on their players. That's a lot more of a basketball thing than a football thing. And Watson, you played that sport. Why is that? Why do you think basketball coaches are a lot more likely to go in on players post-game than football coaches?
There are fewer players. It's not as, again, I'm prejudiced, but I played all three sports, so it's not like I love one more than another. But I think football is more thought of in a team way instead of an individual way. Even though we talk individuals all the time, but I just think it's easier. You see the basketball player, you see his face, you don't see the football player's face during games. He's got a helmet on. I just think it gets more personal because of the sport itself. And you talk to most football coaches, I didn't single players out. I never, ever, ever did that. Ever. And there's a couple I would have wanted to.
Yeah. You don't do it in
Time,
football.
but I never, ever did that to the point of taking all the heat myself.
Yep.
I just never put it on a player. And so it's different for me to see that. And I will say, watching Tennessee girls play South Carolina the other day, I said to Brenda, who was a very good, MVP of the state of Tennessee, was a very good high school basketball player, my wife. And won a state championship at Lebanon High School. And so she knows the sport really well. And she was coming out before they even had college scholarships, talking about, I guess, our age. But I thought they physically let it go. They just didn't go. And there's a difference to me. I always told my teams, somebody during this game is going to wave the white flag. And I said it at every game, somebody ends up waving the white flag. And what that means is you mentally just, you're beat. But waving the white flag and mentally getting to that point, you didn't physically ever quit. But when you physically quit, then you've got to address it, and there's a problem. And I did think the Tennessee girls just kind of just physically quit the other day, and she'll address it, and hopefully you don't see that. That is the proudest basketball program, guys, in the country. The number one women's, UConn's catching them, I guess, but Tennessee till this day is still the proudest women's basketball program for what Pat Summitt did. And man, there's a lot to live up to, and you've got to do that. You don't put that orange on if you don't do that.
No, it's like putting the Boston Celtic uniform on,
No, you don't do it. You just don't do it. You don't do it anywhere. That's what the sport teaches you. You just don't ever quit. And the great thing I always told people when I'd speak at all these places, I said, a good athlete, or even an athlete, just an athlete that's getting to play sports isn't better than the normal student, but they're special. But they're special because they're getting taught things that are hard to get taught as a normal student sometimes. And they're lucky that they can do that and get taught so many things that are going to be helpful for you through your life. And that was one of them, man. You just don't quit. You just don't do it. You may get beat, but you just don't quit, and you get up and you go again. And that's what sports and all sports teach you so well. And coaches teach you that through the sport.
Yeah, it's tough. The thing about basketball too, and Mark Griffin's taught me this, body language is a really easy thing to read in basketball because you don't have your pads on. I can see your face.
Don't have pads on, they can see your face.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Your eyes. I can see your eye, yeah. And you can see when that light goes out of your eyes, or like you're moping around out there, whatever it is, you can just see guys sometimes. You check in,
you can see it in basketball, you can see it in baseball. You can't see that in football near as much. Now they'll watch you close now with all the cameras and everything on the sidelines in football.
Yeah.
But while you're out there, it's hard to see that. But I've always felt like the physical piece, our bodies were the third piece of the puzzle. Mm-hmm. Your brain and your heart, your thoughts and your heart have got to be there for your body to work. And if you're missing the piece in your heart of how much you care for what you're doing and your teammates in your school, and if your mind isn't right, your body ain't never going to be right. So you got to get those two pieces right before you're going to get the rest of that parts to work.
So the great Watson Brown saying he saw what Kim Caldwell was talking about after the game the other day when it looked like Tennessee just kind of let it go after their spirit got sort of broken, which that's a tough deal. I mean, they got a game with Texas on Sunday. They have a game they're going to win with Missouri. You lose to Missouri, you're in big trouble. But they're facing another one of these potential getting their doors blown off again games with Texas. I don't know. Maybe they'll win Sunday. It would be great for them if they did and great for our community if they did. But I'm not betting on it because every time they get up against teams that can play, they get hammered. That starts to get mental too, doesn't it, Watson?
Yeah, it does, and that's the confidence piece. That's not a quit piece. Yeah. That's what I'm talking. There's a difference in quitting and kind of giving in mentally, or just realization hits, and she's got to get the confidence level back. And I like her. pulling for her hard. I don't agree with playing so many people short periods of time. I relate that to people ask me all the time, why did triple option go away? And I said, recruiting. Players didn't want to block all the time. These good players want the ball, and they don't want to be blocking 3/4 of the time they're on the field. And that's what happens in the triple option offenses. You don't know who's going to get the ball a lot of times. And I think the same thing happens in basketball. When you're a great player, you don't want to come somewhere and not play. You don't want to play a half a game. You want to play. And she's starting to change that. But on a level where you don't have the great players, or these military academies can still run this stuff because that's not what they're going there for.
That's interesting.
And they're willing to go do those things. On the smaller level of basketball, they're willing to go do those things. They're not as high profile, and they weren't as highly recruited, and they know they don't have the ability to go so many places with what they have. And when you get these high profile players, they want to play. And so I think that's she's going to deal with that as she goes. I like what she does and running up and down the floor, but I think she's got to leave the best players out there together longer than she does. And that's not taking a shot.
No, you're right. No, it's like
I'm not,
thinking about.
I really like it.
No, you think about the gimmick offenses, right? In football, they say, well, they give you a chance to stay on the field when you have lesser talent. That's kind of the whole concept, you know. But when you're at a place like this and you've got the top 5 NIL in the deal and you're spending a lot of money, why in the world would you want to jerk them off the court? I mean, that makes great sense to me. Watson, on the way out, you're my main man. I love you. Anything else you'd care to add? Boy, that Super Bowl was a snoozer, Watson, and I'm holding you personally responsible for that.
It was. A true old coach still likes it because it was great defense. We don't give credit when the defenses, both sides play great, because it's usually a boring game when that happens because of the style of play now. In the old days, we bragged on that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But not anymore. And what I told y'all last week, man, did it come absolutely true. I said, these are two good defenses. Both can run the ball decent. I said, it'll come down to quarterback play, and it did. And it wasn't Drake's fault to me. It's just too much on him. It's just too much. He's not ready for that yet.
Yeah,
and they were just in his face and in his face and in his face. And he just could not. And he got to where when you watch the old head spinning everywhere, when you see the quarterback's head just all over the place, he's not going to play good. He's not going to do it. He started seeing rushers. He lost his rhythm. He missed wide open people when there wasn't rushers. That's what happens. And quarterbacks do get gun shy. I've always said quarterbacks is so different, Tony, that you have to be a man to play there because you're getting hit and can't do nothing about it. You don't get to punch back. It's the only time when you're a defensive guy, an offensive guard, a running back. They can all run over you. They can block you. A quarterback, he can't do that. He cannot do that. So you better be a physical, a tough dude to play that position. And he got gun shy from it. And once that happens, it's over. It's over, and you will come back the next week and help it and get better at it. But it got to him 100%.
I love you like a brother, my brother. You're my man. And great talking to you.
Love you guys. Talk to you.
On the other side, let's celebrate. Meshack, I was talking to CC Hoops during a break. Meshack played center the other night in that game. He's playing some center in honor of Jemai Meshack and his ascendance to the NBA throne. Just the fact that guy's in that league and playing right now. It was roughly, Bri, 1 year ago when he hit that 3-ball against Alabama to win, right?
Yeah, that was into February, maybe 1st of March.
Nope. I'm for this deal, not against this deal. I'm for this deal. But so much interesting stuff there from Watson Brown. We come back on the other side. Look, my belief with our head football coach, if this guy doesn't learn to fight for his rights with the officials, his tenure will be remembered for winning a lot of games, and he'll be the guy whose team played like a have and was a have that got a have-not whistle the whole time. Watson said there's a reason those guys do it, and it's a great way of putting it, because it works. That's his words, not mine. He's only been at this about 5 decades. And what would he know? The guy even spent time in the hump. In the hump, Cinco, the hump. I mean the Humpty Hump. The Humpty dance. Hump. Here's your chance to do the hump. Ah, sexy baby. I do the Humpty Hump. Everybody do the Humpty Hump.
You're listening to FM 105 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fanrun Radio.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama's Easy approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
Newsflash, Basilio listeners. The spring real estate market just moved up. Yes, it's chilly outside and you're still in your puffy coat, but if you need to sell your East Tennessee property, you could be the hottest house on the block. Hi there. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. February is the sweetheart month of real estate, and savvy sellers know exactly what that means. Get ahead of the game and give me a call at 865-694-5904 or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols!
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Achillio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company.
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. Season of love, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to my friends at Bradley's. Bradley's Gift and Home. They've got chocolate-covered strawberries on the 13th and 14th. That's Friday and Saturday, race fans. And nothing like a little baseball to give you some more. So here's the deal. In honor of Jemai Mashak, who's one of my favorite people to ever play sports at the University of Tennessee, I love him. I don't like Jemai Mashak. I love him. Jemai Mashak, after he hit that game-winning shot with Alabama, the next day was out distributing food, because that's who he was, or who he is rather, but who he was when he was here. And what you saw was what you got. And he's a guy that got here. And Brian, he looked like a whirling dervish when he got here. Do you remember that when he was a kid? He looked like a extremely physical. Well, he always looked to me like the old soul singer Rick James, Brian. He always had a Rick James vibe to him, that hair and all that. But man,
he was
what a great player.
Defensive first player that developed an offensive game, and I think that's why he's in the league.
In the league.
He had to develop that offensive game, and he did. And that three-point shooting that he would occasionally hit, that sort of opened the eyes a little bit.
So CC Hoops is coming over to hang out with me tonight. He's in town. And we were talking during the break, and I said, come on, watch a game. He goes, Tony, I'm going to fall asleep during that game. And CC Hoops, Bry, says he's going to fall asleep during the game tonight. You can't say that, CC Hoops.
I think there's probably a chance I'll fall asleep during the post game if we haven't.
Oh, no doubt.
That's happened before.
So shout out to Jemai Mashak, who's playing at 22 the other night, or at 18 and 22 minutes. Most recent timeout for the Grizz. And look, the Grizz are going nowhere. The Grizz are getting ready to trade. I don't know if they're going to trade him. I don't know who wants him. They're a troubled guard. I don't know. He's physically diminished, and he's probably not the highest character guy in the world. That's a shame. They were so close a couple years ago, the Grizz were. The late, great RMI, he loved the Grizz. Shout out to the late, great RMI. Who am I? Or am I? But Taylor reminds me, Meshack was a torchbearer at Tennessee. Complete legend. Just everything you would want a person that puts on the Tennessee uniform to be. And here's my question for you. Who is that to you? Nominate some people. Give me some. Let's make an all Jemai Meshack. When I think about this person playing here, I just love them. I just love them. Let me give you one. We'll go around the room here, and then we'll go to the phones at 865-200-5402. Again, 865-200-5402. Mine? Look, I love my boy Berkey. Somebody going to say Berkey. Berkey, you're my guy. Berkey was busting my stones the other day in a text message, something fierce. I love you, Burke. But it goes without saying, Chris Burke. I mean, I've got a plaque in here of Berkey from when he hit the home run against the Braves in the longest postseason game up till that point in the history of Major League Baseball. Shot heard around the world, never be forgotten by the living fan. But you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to give it up for a guy who I'm really proud of. And he's become a hell of a broadcaster. And he's a wonderful representative of the University of Tennessee. And good for him, on a big platform. And good for him. He's a guy that I always told, you need to get into this business, man. He's a guy that does a radio show in the mid-state. He's a guy I love. I think he's a good dude. I loved him when he played. I mean, and the sad thing is he played in an era of Tennessee basketball where he kind of got sort of lost. Brian, who am I thinking of?
Would that be Ron Slay?
That's the great Ron Slay. Several years ago, we would bring Ron Slay on to hype people up. Certain hype games. 6-7 years ago, he would come in here and hype people to the hilt. I love you, Slay Dog. And Ron Slay gets my vote, and I'm going to get some chocolate-covered strawberries at Bradley's. I'm going to get on that list because I named my guy. So if you name one of, I have a list of 10 guys here. And if you can give me one of the 10, you tickle the twine, or you just give us somebody that you really love and the reasons why, and we love who you love, you can win some chocolate-covered strawberries from our friends at Bradley's. The number is 865-200-5402. I just think it's great. ESPN's starting to use him now, as Lieutenant Mark from Colombo points out. I love Ron Slay. Back in the old Twitter Spaces days, we'd see Slay pop in. You'd see him on there. Slay would pop in the old back when I would look at Twitter. So I'd really look at it, see who's in there. Now the way our apparatus is, I'm not looking at it. But guy, I love him. Sean Sinclair, in this season of love, who you want to give some on-air love to? And I'm going to ask the living listener who you want to give some on-air love to, and our lines are wide open if you want to jump in with us.
I'm not nearly the basketball guy you guys
Anybody.
are. But
It doesn't mean basketball. Be any player.
No. I'm going here. A guy that just brought me joy with his smile, with his play, with his infectious kind of vibe is Chris Lofton. I just love that guy.
Mine would have to be a Dane Bradshaw, who would do just about anything you would ask him to do, and usually did it well enough to be a major contributor. Although Dane never really had a chance to play in the NBA, but I think that's a player that a lot of people really loved throughout his career because he got the most out of what he had. And he sounds like Chris Collinsworth on the air, by the way.
Oh, my gosh. He sounds just like him.
Which is uncanny.
So you got Ron Slay. We got Dane Bradshaw. We got Chris Lofton. And we're looking for guys, when you think about it, that are straight, that are people that we just love and identify with. And it's just a great thing, man. I mean, when you think about what has happened here for our man who's now down there with the Grizz and balling, may I add. Balling. By the way, let me give a shout out to my man. I meant to do this with Watson Brown, but a shout out to Skullcan Cinco, the artist formerly known as Skullcan, who we've got to give some love to. Scully. It broke last week that Scully was going to go to Maryland, where he was going to resume his career. But Scully had already taken a job at Jacksonville State a couple weeks earlier. And Jeremy Pruitt jumped in there, a.k.a. Skull. Let your skull shine. Not your soul shine, let your skull shine. Shout out MP3. But he said no to the Maryland gig. He said, I'm going to honor my word to my friend who decided that he was going to take him with me and give me a shot back in college football, and I'm going to stay with this. I'm going to stay in this lower division here for less money and not take the Maryland appointment. Sean, how many guys would have done that in that profession? Where we just lost a DB coach because an opportunity with the 49ers opened. And I don't blame the guy. The guy was here from Ohio State for 5 minutes because it's all transactional now. But Jeremy Pruitt said, you know what? I've learned. I've learned my lesson. I went to the, I started out here. I kind of went to the top of the mountain in my profession. I got knocked down, but I got up again. You're never going to keep me down. Chumbawamba, whatever it is. And he's staying with his friend. I applaud that. Let's go to the phones. So I'm going to give him some love today, Bri. How about that? How about some Valentine's Week love for the Skull Can? As we make a list in honor of Jeremiah Mashak, who I just got love for the guy, man. I loved him as a player. It's like a wild man out there, like a whirling dervish. Him and the guy from France. The guy from France are two of the craziest players I've ever seen when they were young. Remember the dude from France, Bri? The way he could jump out of the gym?
Yeah, that's a great one.
The guy that could jump out the gym. Just a wild man. Just a freaking wild man. And then he'd play the game, and then he would go up on social media, and he had that, him and his beautiful French wife, they looked like they were a couple of Paris fashion models.
And Yves Pons actually got a cup of coffee from the Grizzlies, I believe.
Right.
He played there briefly.
I think he might be overseas now. Go to the phones. 865-200-5402. Get as many people in the mix and in the hunt as we can. There are so many people you could put on this list. Those baseball players in recent years, and Berkey, you're always my Valentine, brother. Berkey, if you were any more my Valentine, brah, you'd be like Bobby Valentine to me, or Ellis Valentine. But Berkey, you're more like, and you get your Google out, Berkey, you remind me more of Karen Valentine, Berkey. Let's go to the phones. Get as many people in here as humanly possible. In the hunt and in the mix and in the mix and in the hunt. Hello and welcome in. Who do we want to send a Valentine to and send some love? Who do you put on that team with Meshack? Give me somebody. I don't need 5 people. I need one. You gotta have one Valentine in this world. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Yeah, Hunter from Bristol.
Hey, Hunter. Good to talk to you.
Hey, brother. Love the topic. Y'all have already named off some great ones. As a sixth grader, Ron Slay inspired the headbands in sixth grade basketball where I played.
That's good.
So that was a big deal. But going back a couple of years before Ron Slay, for me, who really got me, on Tennessee basketball, I played point guard growing up and all that. Tony Harris. I was a huge Tony Harris guy. I wore number 14 as a fourth grade basketball guy. Tony Harris was who I idolized. I would cut out the Smokey. We got the Smokey magazine in the mail and stuff that used to come back in the day. I think it was called Smokey's Tale or
Mr.
something
Mattingly
like that.
would love that. Shout out to great Tom Mattingly. How about that, Tom? You inspired generations, Tom Mattingly, with your work.
Loved it. And I remember cutting out things and putting up images, Tony Harris images in my room as a fourth grade kid. And it just his spunk. He was kind of the Zakai before Zakai,
yep.
if you would. And obviously, great. I definitely think Tony Harris needs to be added to that list.
I think that is fantastic. And Tony, it's been Derek duly noted, and I appreciate the call, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
And the thing about Tony Harris is great story because Tony became a guy that's helped a lot of people in his community. We had Tony on talking about that and how when he was young, he kind of made some decisions he wished he didn't make. But he was a hell of a player. Tough guy. Let's go to the phones. We'll get as many people in here as humanly possible. Tony Harris is a great one. But you can go to any sport now. Any sport. Bryce, since folks said since the Lady Vols have gotten some airtime in here, Brian, nominate a Lady Vol for me. Who you got? Because I like Vonda Ward. When she became like an MMA fighter, I thought that was next level. Kind of like when Ovent St. Preux was fighting in the MMA. I was for that. Who's the coolest Lady Vol player, Bri, you can remember?
I'll nominate Andrea Carter, who has gotten into broadcasting and
I love her.
Blossomed and not only blossomed but exploded and is everywhere.
Yeah,
all over the place. And she has a pet snake, so she gets my vote.
Really? She's a pet snake?
Yes.
How'd you find that out,
She's always had a pet snake.
Huh. Cinco, do you know any snake people?
I'm a snake person.
You're a snake person?
I was, yeah. I had one time I had a collection of about 40 ball pythons.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tell me about it, Cinco. Tell me about ball pythons. Why?
I got inspired by this guy named Brian Barczyk on YouTube several years ago. He was so enthusiastic. He made you I never grew up liking him, but just the way he was so enthusiastic. So I got one and a champagne. And so they're interesting. They're underground dwellers in Africa, and they're relatively short.
Right.
And you can easily breed them and mix and match genetics. And so the patterns you can manipulate the patterns to get different kind of variations on their scales, skin, whatever you want to call it, scales. And they're just kind of neat. They, when I had my collection when my mom was rehabbing from a heart attack, and believe it or not, she would sit there and she's enjoyed, holding them and touching them, and we kind of bonded over that. So it's not for everybody. I get it.
Whoa, wait a second.
But no, I was, yeah.
Your mom would hold the snake?
Oh, absolutely. My daughters would, yeah.
You're kidding?
Yeah, I had them in this professional heated rack system, and it was a big deal.
Now,
had a whole bedroom dedicated to them.
If I see a snake outside, I'm running the other way.
Oh no, come on, they won't hurt you.
Really,
in a controlled environment.
Sean, when you see a snake outside, you're not afraid of them?
Not at all.
You pick them up?
It depends. I take a look at them. I mean, you just kind of you look at their head shape, and you got to know where you are. I mean, you're not going to get a coral snake here or something like that. But yeah, I don't know if I'll go Robert Irwin, but if I'm out jogging and I see one, and it's on the pavement, I'll get a stick and pick it up and move it to safety.
I love that, Sean. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, I've been bit 1,000 times by mine, and I don't have any. I gave my collection away to some guy that really needed the money, so I shouldn't have said that. Never mind.
Does it hurt? Does it hurt, Sean?
Does it hurt
when they bite you?
No, it's kind of like someone pulling a hair. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just kind of a little prick.
Yep.
Back to the phones we go. I had no idea. I'm a Jim Stafford guy myself. I don't like spiders, or snakes, and that ain't what it takes to love me. I will say I'm kind of fascinated with the snake. We've got snakes in our backyard that I see frequently. We've had one that's lived under our patio he comes out at this time of the year, Sean, to get sun on him. I know they do that. Like in the winter, they'll come out when it gets a little warm, and they want to come out and get a little sunshine on them. So you'll see snakes this time of the year. It's kind of
your best friend is a king snake, buddy. They're anything king cobra, king, because they're snake eaters, and they'll also a king snake will take a rattlesnake or anything to town.
Let's go back to the phones. And we'll get many people in here. Got a lot of folks that want to talk. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's Dave. Real quick, I won't take much a moment of your time.
Yeah.
I continue to go back to one Joshua Dobbs because the man came here when we were not at the best, coached himself up from what we seem to find out now, really took a leadership role and was a great example on campus in the community. You kind of said we got to pick one. Joshua Dobbs would be my number one. I think we can say very similar things about Hendon Hooker. I don't want to diminish him in any way, but I really think Joshua Dobbs is just that guy that was a ball when it wasn't cool.
No question.
Really, go on.
No, he played in an idiotic era. If you think about it, there was so much talent around him, and it really turns out, he was his own team. He was having to. He's having to coach himself. Yep.
It's very, very fortunate that he was a guy who had the intellect and understood the game.
Yes.
Was obviously a very smart young man in the actual classroom, but he had football knowledge. But again, I just respect his work ethic on and off the court. on and off the field.
Yep.
The way he was in the community, you never had to worry, was he going to do something foolish and make a young, you didn't have to worry he was going to do something and that some young person would be let down. He seemed to have time for people. So, I mean, to me, he's the guy that you want. He's not going to get you a Heisman. He might not even win you a national championship, but you got, 10 or 15 of that guy on your team. Your team's going to do the right thing most of the time, and they're going to get you what you need. Yeah. So
go ahead, Brian. What were you going to say about Josh Dobbs?
Was somebody I was thinking about before we were taking some calls, and so I think Dobbs, Sean, you can attest to this. He kind of extended Butch Jones's tenure at Tennessee. He was so good that a clown like Butch Jones looked competent.
Yeah, once again, another proof that I'm a complete fool is that for whatever reason, I never appreciated Dobbs. I always liked the drop back quarterback. I liked, if it was a dual threat like a Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson. I never appreciated Josh Dobbs, what he did. But a public apology for me because, during that screwball time, he was fantastic. He did save Butch Jones.
(865-200-5402). Dave was wanting to have a conversation there, and I was just trying to get his information. Dave, I love you, and I love your show. Okay. So if you want to get in the hunting in the mix, let's do it. I love me some Josh Dobbs, who, by the way, almost won himself a Super Bowl over the weekend. Except there was a simple math problem in the Super Bowl, Sean, and we've seen it here a time or two. But when 4 rushers can outplay 5 blockers, you got big problems, Sean. I don't think you're in danger of winning that game. What do you think, Sink?
There's no doubt, and it's not the first time. If you remember, and I'm not taking anything away from him. When Tom Brady beat the Chiefs, my Chiefs, our two starting tackles were out, and they absolutely destroyed Mahomes. He had no chance. He was seeing ghosts. Again, I'm not saying that the Tampa Bay didn't win it fair and square. Tom Brady's the greatest and all that stuff. But Mahomes at that moment was at the pinnacle of quarterbacking, and he couldn't do anything.
Kind of like Manning's world title in Denver when he was being held together by baling wire, duct tape, whatever came in the mail. Ashley.
Shout out to Bayless Jones, who got a ring.
Hey, Bayless Jones. Let's go. They got some hay. Let's go. Let's get our next call in. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hi, this is Rod in Clarksville.
Hey, Rod in Clarksville.
What's going on, buddy?
What's up, bro?
Hey, bro, I was going to say the same thing about Bayless Jones. It's just like an unsung hero.
And
my 2 picks for unsung heroes in basketball, Lady Vols, Brittany Jackson, men's basketball, Wayne Chisholm.
Dude, shout out to Wheezy.
I love Wayne Chisholm. He got me excited when he was on the court.
Brittany Jackson has a Lady Vol Nation all in a tizzy because she's been all over this coach. She's been going hard on her online. Wayne Chisholm.
Yeah, but when she played for the Vols, she was hitting them threes. She was nasty.
Brittany Jackson, no doubt about it. I did basketball with her for a year on television. I did the play-by-play, and she did the color. We would call games together. Brittany is...
Was she good people?
She's great gal. I'll tell you what Brittany was. You know where you stood with Brittany Jackson. You knew, hey, she and I understood each other because you knew where you stand with her. She going to call an ace, a spade, and say it right to you. Don't have to worry about her.
Going off on this coach.
And she goes off on... and she just goes crazy online, and people are just so mad at her, and she doesn't care. She's like, "Look, I'm Brittany Jackson. Hey, Wayne Chisholm, Brian, when he left here, winningest player in school history, yes or no?
I believe that is correct. Yes,
won more games than anybody. Rod in Clarksville, Wayne Chisholm, and what a great spirit, but a total winner, just a total winner.
And no off-field issues, off the court issues.
No, never.
He was awesome.
Never a hint of that. Never a hint of that with that.
Yeah, Tony, you know I love y'all to death, man. I just
You're
want
my
to
man.
give a shout out to the unsung heroes.
Shout
Go
out
Vols.
to my man. Yep, go Vols to you. And by the way, my nephew Joe weighing in. Uncle Tony singing the Humpty Hump on the radio, not on my bingo card, but well done, well done. It's worse than that, Joe, because I can remember the part about getting busy in a Burger King bathroom. Humpty knows something about tickling. I don't know. Just that's when that stuff is just so amusing to me. There was a song back then called I Got a Man. And the guy goes, how long you had that problem? I got a man. What's a man got to do with me? I got a man. I just remember some of that stuff from back then. It's just 30 years ago. It's totally amusing. 865-200-5402. In honor of the breakout and the great story that's happening in Memphis. Bri, it is worth celebrating, right? What's happening in Memphis? Is it a blip on the radar, Bri, or is it real? What's happening with Jemai Meshack? Blip on the radar, Bri, or is it real?
He's on a team where he can get the opportunity to do what he did.
Yep. It's his time to shine,
So
Tim Tebow.
for right now, it's real.
Yep.
And hopefully that leads to more opportunities down the line for him.
I'm watching this Slovakia-Finland game, and this is one for the ages over on Peacock right now. Slovakia up 2-1. These two teams are hammering each other. This thing with these high-level NHL guys out here playing Olympic hockey. Hey, have you all seen on Netflix the thing about the 1980 Olympic hockey team? Has anybody seen that documentary besides me?
No, sir.
Made me completely cry. Made me completely cry several times.
Is that the Miracle on Ice?
Miracle on Ice team. One of
Gosh,
these.
I remember that. I remember that experience. Mike Ruzioni and all those guys.
Oh, Sean, it's on Netflix. It's 90 minutes
Herb Brooks,
long.
wasn't that the coach?
Herb Brooks. It'll make you cry. Herb Brooks' family's being interviewed. His kids. I gotta share something with you though that stuck with me on that thing because I have to remind myself of this. The things we say to each other, to our families, to our friends, really have consequences and can stick. There's a guy they're interviewing in that piece, and I turned to Laura during it, and I said, I don't remember this guy on the Olympic team. I don't remember him. And I knew all the guys on that team, okay? Like, I could name you the whole roster. At one point in my life, I could name you the whole roster and tell you where they were from. Those guys are absolute all-time sports heroes to me. Well, anyway. This guy's talking, he's talking, and he says, I get a call. We're at the Olympic Village, and we're getting ready to go to Lake Placid. We just gotten done our tour, and we're playing with these guys, and I got a call, and I was the odd man out. I was the last cut, and I'm sitting there, and I'm watching that whole thing happen on my couch, and I'm heartbroken. Can you imagine what it feels like to be that last guy? You were almost on the ride. You were almost on the ride. And Herb Brooks came and said, "Hey, I need your stuff. I need your playbook. I need your stuff." Unfortunately, and he said, and Herb Brooks was crying when he cut me because he was the last cut on the gold medal team in 1960. And this guy is, 40 years later, crying, telling the story. He said, my father, I'll never forget it. He said, the night they beat the Russians, my father looks right at me and says, Herb Brooks made the right decision. He made the right call. Right to his son. Sean, you imagine saying that to one of your kids? dunking on one of your kids like that, who was the last cut from a team that's the Miracle on Ice team. And the guy told the story just kind of matter-of-factly, hey, that's who my dad was. That is rough.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm afraid in society that's not a unique story, though, unfortunately.
Imagine a father saying to a child who's watching these guys go on and win a world championship, hey, that guy made the right decision. I mean, my heart bled for that guy, and he's like 65 years old. I'm watching this and I'm going, whoo, whoo. But anyway.
To change the tone and tenor, I'd like to give a happy birthday shout out to our boy Lamb Weirdo, Lambert, Mark Watson. Happy birthday, brother. Hope you are healthy and doing well.
He's at least nutty. I know that. Happy birthday, Lammy. I wish you I wish Steeler Nation a return to the top and get you out of miring in NFL mediocrity, as some people like to say. Come back on the other side. 865-200-5402. I want to know, in honor of the great Jemai Mashak, who's having a breakout, and I'm so glad to see it, who are some of your favorites down through the years at UT? And we're giving away some chocolate-covered strawberries. Dave in Knoxville just won. If you want to be a winner, give us a call on the other side on a day where callers come first on this Wednesday after this. Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy, That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Basilio here with my buddy, Connexial Kristen.
Hey, Tony. Good to see ya. Connexial builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the #1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operation?